Hello again, BookTube. It's me again. I'm Emily of Emily Reads It All, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how I cope with the current COVID-19 coronavirus shenanigans going on in our lives and in the news. This is a tough time for everybody. It's a very high anxiety period. I know I have a tendency to just endlessly scroll Twitter, and trying to tear myself away from my phone takes a colossal amount of effort right now. And one of the ways that I kind of cope with my anxiety is by finding fun things that I enjoy doing that aren't inherently productive. And one of those things is playing video games. I love playing Animal Crossing. In my last video I mentioned that I'm currently participating in the Animal Crossing readathon, and I've also been revisiting New Leaf a lot, Animal Crossing New Leaf on my 3DS in anticipation of Animal Crossing New Horizons coming out on Switch, which I am so pumped about. My Switch is coming in the mail today. I also bought Breath of the Wild. Might not make BookTube videos for a while because I'm going to be obsessively playing my new games, so see y'all on the flip side. In Animal Crossing you trade gifts, villagers give each other gifts, you find things that you think other villagers would like, and you know, a lot of these villagers I've known in my Animal Crossing town for like 6 or 7 years. I'm not really an annoying person who just like constantly convinces them all to stay because I get like abandonment issues when people move away and leave me behind. So I've had the same villagers for a really long time, and I love reading memoirs, and I thought, what better way to cope with the anxiety of being cooped up in my house and not having access to most of my other normal anxiety coping techniques, aka not being in my house alone. I'm fine. So today I'm going to be recommending some memoirs to my Animal Crossing villagers that I've known for a really long time. First up is Isabel, this cutie right here. She's a Sagittarius Capricorn cusp, meaning she's got an intense work ethic and a really short attention span. So she's kind of the ultimate yes woman, and I do sometimes worry about her sanity because I'm often sitting there making very silly requests and forcing her to time travel back and forth all the time. And her perpetual cheeriness is sometimes concerning. You okay, Isabel? You holding it together? So the memoir that I'm recommending to Isabel is Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. This book is all about learning to say yes and then learning to say no where appropriate. It's about finding your passions and then identifying your priorities. Plus it's really funny, and I just feel like Isabel could use a good laugh and just like to lighten up a little bit. All of us overworked earth signs can really relate to Shonda Rhimes and would really benefit from reading this memoir and probably revisiting it during times of stress, aka I probably need to reread this soon because I'm an earth sign and it's a time of stress. I'm fine. So the next villager in my town that I'm recommending a book to is Flo. Flo is like your punk big sister who would take you shopping at Hot Topic and then taught you how to use your keys to stab people whenever they were bothering you. Like, she's got those kind of vibes real hard. She reminds me a lot of, do you remember Sam Manson from Danny Phantom? Yeah, like she gives off the same energy as Sam Manson from Danny Phantom. She's got that like really tough and intimidating look, but like, you know, she carries around a first aid kit and makes like a really good vegan meatloaf. Flo will feed you and teach you how to conquer your enemies. So the memoir that I'm recommending to Flo is Hunger Makes Me a Modern Girl by Carrie Brownstein. You know, this memoir, I loved it. I had the opportunity to go and see Carrie Brownstein talk and get a signed copy when she came through Austin. It's a little bit punk, it's a little bit sad, it's a lot of bit girl power. Plus, I feel like Carrie Brownstein at this point in time just gives off those really solid, like, vegan auntie vibes, and I think that Flo would really look up to her. The next villager in my town is Maple. Maple, she's just like her name. A lot of the villagers kind of correspond, like, their personalities kind of correspond with their name. And, you know, as the name Maple would tell you, she's really sweet, She's really reliable, but like she's also just like kind of forgettable. She's basic. She's like the definition of Bluebell classic vanilla in like an animal form. She probably like really looks forward to her Saturday morning Starbucks runs, spending way too much money in Target. Maple keeps a gratitude journal. She's basic, but not in a bad way. Like, Maple is a great standby person to have on those days when you just like really need to vent over a like triple grande mocha latte with extra whipped cream and like one of those cake pops on the side. So the book recommendation that I'm making to her is not because the author is basic or normal, but because everyone has read it and everyone loves it, which is Becoming by Michelle Obama. Everyone loves Michelle Obama. Like, most people can agree on that. I mean, maybe not like Republicans maybe don't like Michelle Obama. Who knows? Everyone loves giving kids free school lunch. I mean, what's not to love about that? The book is all about being kind to other people, being kind to yourself, discovering your true power, coming together to overcome adversity and envision a better future for all of us, which Maple is also one of the villagers who's kind of like constantly like hint, like recommending like, hey, maybe you should like clean up the weeds that we've accumulated from all of your incessant time traveling. I don't know. So this is definitely a Maple must read if I ever did see one. The next villager in my new leaf town is Jay. Jay is this like jock little blue jay character. He's been with me the longest, I think. He was the first villager to move into my town, and he's tried to move away like 4 times, but I keep reeling him back in. And he really makes me think of the high school jock that like didn't really fit in with like the football players. Like he liked to play sports, but he also wrote poetry and like played guitar or a ukulele or something like that while staring pensively out the window, and would like, he'd be the guy that would like show up under your window with a boombox at 10 a.m. And he was probably always the summer lifeguard at your pool, and he would like ask how your grandma was doing after you mentioned him like 3 weeks ago that she was sick. He's just that kind of guy. He's just genuinely nice, and he just genuinely cares about people, but he's also like, ripped AF and could probably like punch anybody out. So the memoir that I would recommend to him is Open by Andre Agassi. I've kind of gotten more into sports memoirs over the last, say, 2 or 3 years, and I actually really enjoyed reading this one. We watched more tennis growing up, and my mom always really enjoyed matches that Andre Agassi were in, and he kind of became my favorite male tennis player. He had this personality, attitude, gravitas on the court. He didn't take shit from anybody, and just was, fun. He'd like throw his racket or like get really like passionate and upset, all the things that women tennis players get punished for and have to pay fines for, and then get op-eds written about them the next day. Love that for us. So his memoir talks about how he actually always really felt out of place in the tennis world, which is kind of surprising. I mean, I don't think anybody just watching him on the TV would think that. And that how instant fame was actually really hard for him, which isn't really what you would think would be true of somebody who was always like so cocky and confident and, self-assured and over the top, frankly, on the court. I really feel like Jay would enjoy this, and then he would read it and like go to the gym and gush about it to all of his gym buddies, and then like force them all to have a book club about it. Jay's just that kind of guy. He's that kind of bird. My second longest villager that's been with me for the longest is Tex, another penguin. Tex to me is like if Aziz Ansari were an Animal Crossing character. He's kind of a tryhard. He's always trying to hide the fact that he's secretly excited to see you. And he always wants to run up and tell you a lame joke that you're going to have to like force a chuckle at. And he thinks talking about how cool he is will actually make him cool. I actually don't know why I keep convincing him not to move away. Tex is kind of annoying. Even though he's never done anything weird to my character, he's always talking kind of slimily about Bengal and Flo and trying to get me to deliver them gifts all the time. It just like feels kind of skeezy. So the memoir that I'm recommending to Tex is Hunger by Roxane Gay, because I just feel like he needs a little bit of perspective. Tap into the brain of one of the best intersectional feminist writers of our time, who is also really funny. Maybe he'll learn how to actually craft a funny joke after reading Roxane Gay's memoir. I think he just really needs to tap into some empathy, grow those skills. It might do wonders for him. Who knows? Maybe like he'll start having better luck with Flo and Bangle, whatever like love triangle thing he has going on with them. The next villager in my town is Rory. He is a British lion. His mane and mustache give him that kind of like Mr. Peanut mustache flair thing going on. And he just loves walking around being like, capital, capital. So he really gives off the vibe that you're interacting with that like amiable but kind of crotchety like old butler from Downton Abbey. He's really into sports though. He's another one of the jock characters, and he's always trying to get my character to work out with him, like motivate me to like do more and be better, and that's just not who I am as a person in this town, Rory. I come here to escape and get away from my responsibilities, not do 25 burpees at 7 a.m. So the memoir that I'm recommending to Rory is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. This is a memoir written by the guy who created Nike. He's got that real pulled myself up by the bootstraps by selling cheap shoes created by sweatshop labor in Japan. Privileged white dude kind of vibe. White dudes with the gym habit love a self-made entrepreneur business story, especially when you're making your business with someone else's labor. It's a really good book though, not gonna lie. The guy who wrote it has a really good sense of humor, and his story is really interesting, or I don't know, he has a really good ghostwriter or something. But it's a good book, and I think Rory would enjoy it. Alright, well, that's it for me today. I'm still in the middle of the Animal Crossing readathon. I'm super excited for Animal Crossing New Horizons to come out on the 20th. I hope that everyone is staying strong, staying healthy, and staying smart and safe. Don't go outside if you don't have to. Stay home from work if you can, work from home. I know my university is moving all of our classes online after we get back from spring break. My job allows me to work from home most of the time, so I am taking advantage of that as much as possible. But do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Find ways to connect with the outside world when you can. Get some reading done, but don't make this have to all be about productive time. There's a lot going on in the world and a lot going on in all of our brains. Anxiety brains reduce our capacities to be productive. This is not the time that you have to take on all of those projects. Build your own brand, start a side hustle. It's okay to rest and unplug and just try to reconnect with your life and the people in it, and not feel so isolated. So do what you need to do to take care of yourself, both physically, mentally, and emotionally, and see you guys again soon. Bye!